Hello mga katribo and welcome to another inspiring episode of PairFect. I am Francine.
Hello, I am Dinah. And yes, Francine, it's an interesting Wednesday, especially because we are joined by a man who worked his way to achieving his dreams.
And let us welcome the President and CEO of Bilena Cosmetics Inc, Mr. Dioceldo Sy.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
Thank you for the invite.
sir.
Thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Thanks for taking the time.
I'm sure busy. So you haven't stopped working, Deo.
Yeah, I have to. The pandemic kasi, so I have to work not only double, triple time. Survival mode tayo ngayon.
Oo nga.
Yeah.
Oo, basketball term yun
Oo nga.
Yeah.
Well, okay, let's start, di ba? Sir Deo, you're no stranger to hardship. It's no secret how you built Bilena from your own savings, from one product to over 1,000 today. So what kind of challenges did the COVID-19 pandemic present to you? And what was your first move?
Well, this COVID pandemic is unprecedented. As you say, it's so liquid and fluid that at that time last year, when we started the lockdown, I thought it will be an easy 2-3 month lockdown on us. So I was not worried. So that was mid-March. Then when we hit mid-May, I saw it's not a joke anymore. It's gonna take time. So I started adjusting. And obviously, some people might not see it, but I'm fortunate that I see what's coming. So I said I have to adjust the whole organization. And then everything that we used to forecast and work for are all throw it out of the window. So we have to start from scratch. It's unprecedented, so anything comes because we have to keep on adjusting with the government rules and regulations. As you know, because of IATF, there's so many new rules in and out that we have to adjust in order to be legal with them, di ba?
True.
Sir, would you say that the pandemic was the most challenging the most challenging experience in the course of Bilena? I mean, you've gone through a lot of economic crisis, a lot of things that has happened during its many years as a company. Is this the most challenging?
This is, of course, the most challenging. A couple of things. Number one, this is external, not internal. So internally, we're okay. It's all external. And then when we say external, it's not only local, not only Philippines, but it's global. So these are the huge challenges. And then, as you see, everything is so different. We never encounter quarantines. We never encounter lockdowns. We never see bawal ang mag-travel. We never see PCR tests.
Yeah.
These are all new things to us, which is very alien to us. In fact, I was telling my friends, for me, this is World War III without the actual bombing and killings. But the effect is almost the same.
Magandang comparison yun,
Tama. So let's go back to the beginning of your journey. When did you establish Bilena, and then what did it take to build it? I mean, the cosmetics world is basically a woman's world, but you entered the industry.
Yeah. For a backgrounder, my grandfather is from Fujian, China. He came into the Philippines 1938. He was a pioneer of cosmetics here in our country.
I see.
So I was born 1958, and of course I grew up in his factory. I see how he's doing the business until he died early. He died 1969 at 60 years old. And then I joined that company in 1976. as a messenger until it shut down in 1980. By the way, my job in 1976 was a messenger for my uncle, and I was getting 300 peso a month as my starting salary. Then, when it shut down 1980, I have to I was an ahente that I sell anything under the sun. Then I realized in 81, 82 was so difficult to keep on selling whatever under the sun. So I decided to go back to the business that I know, which is cosmetics. And at that time, in 1982, 83, the hottest item was nail polish. So that's how I get started in 1983. Nail polish yung first product ko.
Yes.
And then from 76 to 83, all my savings was around 150,000. That was, at that time was 750 to 1. So it's around $20,000. That was my capital when I started.
Galing, ah.
Sir, nung you said you were a messenger in 1976, what lessons did you learn doing that sort of job na sa tingin nyo nakatulong din sa inyo to establish your company eventually? I mean, it's really starting from scratch.
Yeah, I started from scratch. And as a messenger, I practically was doing a multitasking. So I do everything. I help buy whatever they ask me to do. My uncle, bili ka ng ganon, bili ka ng ganyan, mag-collecta ka, mag-deposito ka, punta ka sa Divisoria, maningil ka, magbenta ka ng konti. So I practically do everything. It's something that is tough and you don't see today, but that helped mold me to what I am today. Because I was doing multitasking, so I know practically from the ground zero up to the level of my uncle who was the big boss. So from ground zero to the big boss, nakikita ko what's happening for 4 or 5 years. So that was a big foundation for me.
Yeah.
Sir, anong brand ho yung original from your grandfather?
Original doon, siguro mga older guys might know, mga X7, Deconte, Meridia, IT. So all of them are not here anymore, but they were the top brands during those times.
Wow.
Alam mo pa ba yun?
Hindi ko alam.
Siguro mga lolo nyo, alam nila.
Edi sir, siguro nakikita yan sa mga eskolta. Kasi maraming mga original department stores doon, ano?
Pero ano,
Kontak sa Quiapo, mga Carriedo, mga...
Carriedo,
Those are the
diba?
days.
So I suppose yung start na yon na you started from scratch, from the bottom up nga, kumbaga, di ba? Molded you into who you are today. And
Yes.
yun, so talagang mas madali mag-adjust sa mga challenges like the pandemic, di ba? Kasi, Deo, we had your daughter Denise as guest many months ago, and she told us about how the company pivoted to the new normal. So, what else is your company doing, not just to survive, but to grow in this pandemic?
Actually, we adjusted quite quickly because I feel on top of I'm actually more hands-on after the pandemic. Because before the pandemic, I don't join them any money meetings. Wala namang problema. Everything was doing well. I always have that belief that you don't fix if everything goes well. So I let my people do their things. My only task at that time was how to invest the excess cash flow, which is easy to do, very easy for me. But come pandemic, it's a different ball game. It's short of cash flow. So I have to see how I can I have to dig from our reserves, or I need to knock on our banks to borrow some funds to continue the business. So I think the good thing with our case is the banks know us very well, and they know that we will be here to stay. That's why they don't hesitate to extend loans to us versus other companies that they are collecting their loans. In our case, it's the banks giving us loan, knowing that we need their funds. So, maganda ang nangyayari. But, of course, outside it's not good. But for us, it's good because we are not that problem on the funds because we know that the banks are there backing us and supporting us.
Saka, Sir Deo, I'm sure syempre iba yung upbringing ng children mo from the way you grew up also. Iba
Yeah.
na yung mundo nila and now they have to face this kind of challenge and I'm sure laking tulong talaga yung what you bring to the company in terms of your experience and your mindset and what you're teaching them. So, ano yung mga sa tingin mo kailangan nilang matutunan also as people in this business?
So what's happening now? I think they're more grounded now because they're living within their means. Even when my kids were starting up, would you believe I asked them to take LRT going to Ateneo or going to Lasal when they were studying.
Oh.
And then I will help compute how much is your LRT, how much is your merienda, etc., etc. Then let's say aabot ng 100, 150 a day ang gastos. I'll give the extra allowance of 50 or 100 pesos. So let's say mga 1,500 or 2,000 a week lang ang pera nila. And then I give them credit card, but their credit card maximum is 10,000 only. So baka may emergency needs, at least may credit card pa sila na can top up. But I check on what they're buying. So pag nakita ko puro department store at kung ano na binibili, medyo I will call their attention.
Ayun.
So they're very, very budgeted people. So there's not any concern for me on them. So that's why importante kasi when growing up, you have to train them well on all these things. So I just give them the need, not their wants.
Yeah. Maganda naman pala yung financial training.
Sir, may nakita ako sa inyo na you were talking about getting loans from banks, ganyan. At the time na the economy was shaky and some businesses would say, the buck stops here. Let's not get into any more loans and anything. But I saw that you're very much of a risk taker. Do you think that's part of being a successful businessman, taking the risk?
Of course,
Financial risk and everything.
Siyempre, that's why entrepreneur Entrepreneur take the risk. If you don't take the risk, then you end up as an employee. So, ganun kasimple lang yan. And in fact, what's happening now, the color cosmetics so bad now because no party, no school, no nothing. And then naka-mask tayo. So, obviously, no lip products, no lipstick, no face product, only eye products. So, nakita ko yung potential is the skincare. Skincare is around 4 to 5 times color cosmetics. So, when Denise had her initial product, the Hello Glow Whitening Set, I was hesitant because in the start, our product mix is low end, nasa 150 to 200 lang. And then her Hello Glow was 360. Then I told her, kaya mo ibenta 360 sa mga lipstick natin, mga gano'n, 150, 200. Ang hirap niyan. So, she was asking for a budget. So, I just give her initially 50,000 steps of yung 360. So, very limited budget. I just want to see how it goes. Surprisingly, it was late 2019. I saw it was selling well. So I give her more budget from 50,000 naging 300,000-400,000 sets on the budgeting. So, and then during pandemic, it was the only product selling yung skincare niya. na overtake yung Hello Glow Whitening Set niya over the old Ever Bilena, Careline, all the other products. So sabi ko, it's doing well. So pinulblas ko na. I asked her to, you buy 1 million set na. I give you the budget. So that's how the skincare come up. So from there, she expanded to more lines and also another brand, Ever Organics. And then all the other color cosmetic, my skincare extension line na. So sabi ko, not only the names and the whole marketing and sales crew, sabi ko, the good thing pandemic that gave us is suddenly we are in the ball game of skincare. Without pandemic, I don't think we can enter skincare because this market is controlled by the multinational. Nandiyan si L'Oreal, si Olay, si Bea, Pants, all their products, how they control the market. You cannot enter the market. For the past 1.5 years, because of this pandemic, they are not moving. They're practically standstill. Nobody goes to the offices up to now. You go to this multinational company, offices nila, puro skeletal. Everybody work from home. Versus us, we all come into the office na since May last year. So from one Hello Glow whitening skincare set, we have now maybe close to 150 SKU na.
Wow,
So,
ang
parang
galing.
basketball lang yun.
Oo.
Diba? Basketball, pag isang tao, isang produkto lang, walang mangyayari. We have 150. It's practically, parang Senado, tatlong full basketball team na papasok sa market na before, hindi ka makapasok dahil masikip at kontrolado. Ngayon, walang control. It's open market. And then, sabi ko kay Denise, since now na mga retailer mabait at relax sa mga ganyan, so you keep on positioning. So I can safely say that after 1.5 years, probably 70-80% nakaposition na yung mga skincare set ni Denise. I said, Denise, kasi it's her business na, hindi na sa akin yan. I'm just at the back supporting and financing her. Sabi ko, I was joking, pautang ko na lang sa iyo yan. Taka na ako maniningil sa iyo sa mga dividend pag nag-normal na yung market.
Oh. Speaking of basketball, sir, parang nakita ko kasi na a lot of the success also has to do with calculated risks, no? At saka yung gut feel, parang paggagawa ka ng 3-point shot, sir, di ba? Kailangan, tansyahin mo talaga. So, sir, what was sales like during the early days of the pandemic at saka present? How has it grown financially?
Pre-pandemic, we're
Profit-wise,
doing very well. Yung pre-pandemic, we're doing very well. As I said kanina, pre-pandemic, ang trabaho ko is how to invest the excess cash flow. Well, today, there's no excess cash flow. It's practically monthly, nag-aabuno ako. I'm digging into our reserves plus borrowings. So, we can last another 2-3 years safely, There's no problem with us. Ang importante lang, ang question lang, we don't even know when the economy will come back. Although what I can see now that our government is always a follower, never initiate. So when the other countries were locking down, huli tayo nag-react. After everybody was locking down, that was time we locked down. When they do quarantine, we do quarantine. So right now, I just spoke with my Singaporean friends yesterday. Singapore is opening up already and a couple of other countries. So I can see that the Philippines will also open up. Kasi alam naman tayo dito, gaya-gaya lang tayo eh. So I can see a few more months, they will open up. Otherwise, we will be left behind. So ang challenge lang kasi, sabi ko, I can fly to Singapore na. I like to fly out. For more than 1.5 years, nakakulong tayo dito. Ang problem, pag uwi ko, quarantine ako 7 to 10 days. Sabi ko, I'm not gonna do that. So sabi ko, if Singapore remove the quarantine, dapat Philippines wala na rin quarantine as long as you're fully vaccinated, which is what Singapore is asking. If you're fully vaccinated, you are welcome to go to Singapore na.
Yes,
Oo,
di ba? Pero ang
interesting.
hirap talaga mag-conduct ng business ngayon when you're doing international. So, let's get to know Sir Deo more later on after a short commercial break.
Botomoto Halalan 2022, the Daily Tribune special coverage.
Magpabakuna kayo.
This public service advisory is brought to you by Daily Tribune and 100.3 RJFM.
Magandang araw mga katribo! Narito na ang mga makakasama nyo tuwing umaga sa programang Gising Na. Roy Pelovelo, Comfy Manalo, Chinky Mangkukang, Vernon Velasco, Kim Sancha at Chirk Balagtas. Abangan ang programang Gising Na mula alas 8 hanggang alas 9 ng umaga sa Facebook page ng Daily Tribune.
Ilabas ng mainit na kape at samahan kami sa inyong pag-almusal, mga katribo.
Sama-sama natin alamin ang mga natatagong istorya sa mga latest na kaganapan sa loob at labas ng bansa.
Simulan ang bawat umaga with good vibes sa mga informative and recreational segments dito sa ating programa.
Maaari niyo rin ibahagi sa amin ang inyong opinion via Daily Tribune Facebook page at Tribune Now sa YouTube.
Makichika na rin sa latest showbiz happenings, mga katribo.
Kaya naman, magkita-kita po tayo mula Lunes hanggang Biyernes, alas 8 hanggang alas 9 ng umaga at magsama-sama po tayo sa
Gising Na!
Magpabakura kayo.
Botomoto Halalan 2022, the Daily Tribune special coverage.
Hello, welcome back to PairFect. I'm Francine. I'm with Dinah, Ventura, and today we're talking to Bilena's president, Mr. Dioceldo Sy, talking about the secrets to his success and the company itself.
Yes.
Diba? How it was able to thrive in the midst of a pandemic. Welcome back, sir.
Hi.
Hello. Sir, kanina I was talking about nga how actually I'm very impressed yung gut feel talaga. No? You know, he's really a seasoned business man. Entrepreneur, di ba? Because of the way he pivoted during the pandemic. Sir, when venturing into a business, how would you say that it's a good investment? Maybe for all those people who want to invest in something right now. To want to start.
What goes through your mind, di ba?
Oo
When
nga
you're considering something to venture into.
There are two things, ano? One, let's say, you're a passive investor, like if you're excess money, nakapark ngayon sa time deposit. Siyempre ngayon, baksak na baksak ang interest rate natin. Probably 0.5% to 1% ang yield mo per year. So it's practically zero. So I would suggest, look at what's happening. Like lately, very popular ngayon sa market natin yung rate. So rate are at the moment mga big boys, sila Ayala, sila Robinson, sila Mega Wolf. Ang wala pa si SM. SM will come in next year. So what they're doing is they take out the buildings and put into the rate, and the buildings basically mostly are the malls and the office buildings. So all their revenues, they put it there, and by law, they're mandated to give away 90% of their net income to the shareholders. So currently, ang nandiyan ngayon, si Ayala, si Megawall, si Robinson, they're giving away probably low of 4 to high of 6% per annum, which is way bigger than your time deposit. Ang time deposit mo, 0.5% to 1% lang eh. Well, this one, they're giving you 5-6%, easily 5 to 6 times. And then with the rate, the chances of earning more is bigger because the share price will go up. What they're doing now, initial IPO, they put in a couple of assets. As you go on, they keep on adding. And the good thing now, these big boys are competing one another for the best looking and best yielding rate shares. Like last year when Ayala started, it was 27. Today is 40. That's only after 1 year.
Wow.
Right there and there, you got 50% upside. Di ba? So, yung 27 pesos last year is now 40. And then every quarter, they give cash dividend. Latest was 44 cents. They started at around 30 cents. So that's, you got 4-5% yield, which is 5 or 10 times your interest. So now, let's say yung pera mo last year na 27 pesos, now nasa 40 na, plus kumita ka ng siguro mga 2 pesos, which is another 5%. So your 27 pesos today, naging 40 plus 2 pesos na interest. So that's more than 50%. So, ano lang yan, mathematics lang eh. And normally, it's time deposit, we don't withdraw the money. We just leave it there. We only withdraw if needed. So, if you need the money, you sell the shares, partly or in full. It's up to you eh. So, that's what I call a passive investment into our stock market. On our side naman, as a businessman naman, I invested 5 years ago on a property in Arcasao. So I invested it with the funds of BPI that lent me. So that property in lupa lang, almost double na in 6 years' time. And then we're building office tower there. So it will take another 4 years, another 2-3 years siguro to finish it. So these are long-term investments with the backing of the banks. Something very interesting. 3 months ago, I just came across a company called BCNet. It's an 18-year-old company, a Wi-Fi provider that nasa stressful condition. So I came in and invested some monies there. Now it's very healthy now ngayon. And we service we call it the underserved communities na hindi naabutan ng fiber optics for their Wi-Fi. So these are far-flung areas na for the next 5-10 years, I don't think the big boys like Smart or Globe will enter kasi hindi sila feasible for them. And it's feasible for my new company called BCNet because we use satellite technology in bringing in the Wi-Fi to the community. So, something like that. So, it's a different ball game, but ano lang entrepreneurial instinct eh. Parang sinabi ko, I always say, when I smell that, pinapasok ko na. Parang si Dracula, pa nakamoy ng
Yun keep your eyes open,
So
diba?
for the record, does this mean that you're diversifying to real estate and information technology na?
Huh?
Yes, we are more on that. Siguro, how do you call it? Broadband, internet, something like that. Sa mga unserved and underserved communities.
Wow, something
And then
new. I
that
didn't know
office
that.
building is something that will be put up like in the next 6 years ba? Ano po yung timeline?
Then, it will be done siguro mid-23 to mid-2020, mid to late 2023. 2 years time.
Saan hong location to? Hala,
Arca
South. Arca South. Okay.
Sa old food terminal natin sa Taguig. It will be the next BGC.
So under Ever Bilena company, what's the...
It's a new company called Bumberton Development Corp. It's fully owned by Ever Bilena, subsidiary.
Wow. So talk about expansion in the midst of a pandemic, sir talaga. You're the guru.
We're learning something here.
Oo
We started in October 2019. Naumpisa na hindi na pwede huminto. So I have to push it. And I'm happy that the bank like BPI trusted us so much that they allow us to continue and continuously funding and supporting us.
Great business ideas.
May tips na tayo dito from the best.
Yes.
Sir Deo, what are your best practices when it comes to investing?
Master class na pala to, sir.
Di ba?
Stock market, madali lang yan eh. You look at who the owners are. Let's say, Robinson, Megawall, SM. Siyempre, kilala mo nga may-ari. Mga magagaling na businessman yan. The C family, Gokongwei family, the Andutan family. And they are good reputation. So, doon lang, panalo ka na. And then, look at their PE ratios, yung price earning. If the price earning is low, let's say, between 5 to 10 years earning, maganda yan. I don't go in if it's 15, 20 years na kasi ang upside niya maliit na lang. And the other thing is the cash dividend. Parang yung maliit, ang cash dividend niya 4 to 6%. So it's a no-brainer. Baksak ng time deposit niya. So why keep the money? Keep your money in the stock market. That's where the money is, the rate. It's a pure physical and tactical appreciation yan.
Sige sir, mamaya may tatanungin ako sa inyong company kung worth it after the
record
show.
Yeah. Sige.
Ayan.
Oo. Sir, you're also an advocate of basketball. Kanina may mga giveaways na kayo ng mga terminology eh. And you even formed a team in PBA. Tell us about your sports side.
Well, I love basketball when I was young, ano? And in fact, my passion was to become a professional basketball player sa PBA kasi I idolized Prisma Redmanizers during those times. Di ba? At that time, Prisma Toyota, it's either Prisma ka or Toyota ka.
Oh.
And at that time, the good thing then, the players live and die with the team. Bihira mo makita yung mga Prisma o Toyota players, they transfer here and there eh. So it's only when the Prisma team or Toyota team was disbanded, that's the time they go to other teams. But if they were not disbanded, they're still there. So that's how players were then before. And also before, at that time, 70s, 80s, when you were called to be part of the national team, there's no hesitation. It's your pride to play for the country. That's what I'm always telling my people. If it's for the country, we should go all out. Hindi pwede yung pera-pera kung for the sake of the country. And I can see all our old players ganun eh. Sila Atoy ko, sila Dioceldo, sila Adornado, ganun sila lahat. If they're for the country, talagang lahat sila maglalaro. They will give up their lives to give honors to our country.
So I suppose, sir, kasi ngayon yung sports, ibang klaseng navigation din eh. So how was it, what were the challenges of having a sports team at this time?
So it's very challenging, especially now with the pandemic. It's all closed door, all bubbles, and then the players cannot play normally. Because before every now and then I join them sa practice para makapag sa warm-up lang ako sumasali. Warm-up, shoot around para mapawisan. But since pandemic came, more than 2 years na ako hindi nakakasama. So yung aking exercise regime na bawasan ng gusto. So it's so hard to perspire if you exercise alone eh. So mas maganda yung kasama mo yung grupo, you enjoy the players, you enjoy the coaches. So yun lang ang big difference before and now. Ngayon ang siguro, regimen ko, walking na lang and swimming a bit. So, yun. So, medyo bumaksak na gusto ng aking exercises.
Siguro, sir, ang tangkad nyo. Kasi you said you wanted to be a basketball player. What's your height, if we may ask?
Nakaupo kasi.
I was 6 foot flat during my younger days. Then I played center. I was one of the smallest center. Madaya lang kasi ako maglaro. And then now, because tumatanda na ako, I'm shrinking. It's totoo yung nagsishrink ka. I used to be 6 foot, now I'm 5'10" and 3/4 na lang. I lost 1 1/4 inches na.
Ganun pala yun.
Yeah, actually.
Humiliit pag tumatanda. Totoo yan.
But at least you're still working out, You're very fit for the demanding job that you have.
Actually, ang nangyayari, physically, siguro humihina ang katawan natin. But mentally, mas sharper ang pag-iisip ko. The way I think today is way better than I was 20, 30 years ago. Ang magandang isang tingin ko lang, alam ko na anong mangyayari. So, that's a good thing. And I only understand this when I met both Henry C. and Gokong Wei in my younger days. Ang swerte ko, I met them young. I met Henry C. when I was 22. I met Gokong Wei when I was 25, 26. And both of them shared me their wisdom. So, at the time, they were in their 60s. So, I felt I gained 30 years. I was 25, 26, then I feel I was like a 50-year-old businessman now because I listened to their wisdom. I put it in my brain cells. And up to now, I'm still using it. Parang they are my Bible na sa doing business, especially as an entrepreneur.
Ano kaya yun, no?
Pero I've always been told that, like, for younger people, it's also good to hang around people who
Yes.
know more about you. That's how you gain wisdom in whatever field that you do, ano?
Grabe pala po yung
Kasi
mga
22 lang.
mentors ninyo.
Oh, yung palang
Big
barkada
deal.
nyo, sir.
Yeah.
You know, I go to visit Mr. John when I was in my mid-20s, ano. I go there probably one Sunday every couple of months. Nagkwekwentuhan lang kayo, I'll be still 3 o'clock. Sabi niya, you come here after 2:30 to 3 kasi he always take an hour or two siesta. Then the only time is all the time is on Sunday afternoon. So I visited his house in North Forbes. So I'll visit 3 o'clock and then I leave his house around 6:30. So I enjoy talking with him for 2-3 hours. Sabi niya, I like talking to you because nakukuha yung parang brainwave namin. I learn from him, he learn from me because he's not updated already on the ground zero. So, kinakwento ko sa'yo ano nangyayari sa baba, gano'n. And he was so happy that I'm sharing with him also at that time kasi hindi na umaabot sa kanya kung ano nangyayari sa ground zero. So, I really what's happening sa ground zero. Eh, siya naman, kinakwento niya sa taas, nung ginagawa niya sa taas, na from ground zero, we don't see that. We don't see their moves. So, sabi ko, ganun pala ang galaw nila. So, in due time, I'll do that. So, it's always in my mind that that will happen soon. So, what I'm doing now, I'm reaping the fruits of those conversations today.
Sir, if you don't mind my asking, how did that friendship come about yung sa inyo nila Mr. C and Mr. Gokomoy?
Si Henry C, by accident lang yan kasi we were shopping in SM Makati with a friend. Then another friend of mine, she was waiting for us at the Cafe LSE.
Yes.
Then after we bought the gift, he was talking to her. Then we joined, si Henry C to. So I joined. Then kwento-kwento. They said, what are you guys doing? I said, nothing. So you come to my office in the old Makati Stock Exchange building. So we went there, kwento again for 2 hours, and then sabi, are you hungry? Of course, we're very hungry. 9 o'clock na eh. So they invited us for dinner, so kwento-kwento. So from there, medyo nag-build up yung konting relationship, and every now and then, when I go to SM Makati, I see him, he will say, how are you doing? I'm doing good. So, kwento-kwento, then sharing contact. Actually, he was the first one to give me the PO sa SM Devsor in 83 or 84 at the old Ijage, SM Old Ijage office. The old one, the wood building pa yung kahoy.
The original.
So, he was the one who when he saw me again, how are you saying? Sabi ko, nail polish. Then he asked one cosmetics, you order from him. So, sulat kami lang at the time, PO eh. So after sulat, siya pa pumirma. So, ang mali ko, dapat sinerox ko yung
Oo nga.
Ang ganda naman.
So, pag sinerox ko, dapat i-frame ko yun eh, sayang.
Ang ganda ng kwento, no? Tsaka yung exchange between a senior veteran entrepreneur and a young person, di ba? Yung energy ng exchange is very happy.
Si Mr. Jan naman, because I was supplying Chick Center, yung Bobby nail polish, I was supplying them some parts for nail polish kasi yun ang negosyo ko. Then at that time, ang head ng ang boss sa Chick Center, si Mr. Ignacio Botao, he approached me. So one time he said, Dioceldo, I introduce you to Mrs. Elizabeth, Mrs. Elizabeth Bocongway, the wife of Mr. Jan. They need some items for their department store kasi they're opening up Galleria at the time. So, when I see Mrs. Jan, sabi, I need you. At the time, siyempre, ang lahat ng, wala pang China noon, puro Taiwan eh. So, let's go to Taiwan and shop and buy things for the department store. So, I asked her what she needs. So, I contacted my Taiwan partner sa Bilena. So, when we came in, so 3-4 days, busy kami. We travel all around Taipei City for all their requirements. So when we came back, ang total order niya nasa 10 or 12 million nata eh. At that time, laking pera na nun eh. Nung 80, I think that was close, 86, 87 nata for the opening galleria. Then sabi ko kay ma'am, sabi ko, at that time kasi kukunin ko na siyang ninang sa kasal. Sabi ko, ninang, hindi ko kaya finance to. Kulang ang puhunan ko. Sabi niya, you talk to your ninong. Where is he? Sabi ko, at that time, ang office nila nasa Robinson, Ermita. I think yung ninong is in Midtown. At that time, Midtown Ramada Hotel pa.
Yeah.
So she called up, and good, Mr. John was there. So puntahan mo na, takbo ka na, nandyan siya. So I went to see Mr. John. So that's become built up ng relationship. And that was the first time I've seen how credibility works. Because at that time, I was dealing with PBCom, ano? Mag-uutang ko 300,000, ayaw ko pa utangin, dami hinihingi eh. Tapos kay Mr. John, isang tawag lang, bukas nandiyan na yung 4 million.
Wow. Yeah.
So, ang bilis. So, sabi ko kay Mr. John, Ninong, I need 4 million for the purchases of Ninang. Oh, that's good, that's good. Then he called up PBCom, and he spoke with the bank president. Sabi niya, okay, back down. You go to PBCom, you get a promissory note. So, takbo ko, PBCom head office ng balik. Sa Binondo pa lang nun eh. So, he signed the promissory note for 4,120 days. So, the following day, I went to PBCom Caloocan, where's my branch is. So, the manager said, grabe ka. Bakit? Tumawag yung presidente ng PBCom sa akin. Kinamusta ka, kung sino ka. Tapos, nandiyan na yung 4 million. The following day. Tapos sabi ko kay George Lim, the banker, sabi ko, pare, 300, di mo ko mautangan. Tapos kay Mr. John, isang araw lang, nandiyan na. I will never forget, sabi niya, if you're not John Bokong Way Jr., you are only Dioceldo Sy, sabi niya sa akin. So, sabi ko, one day I will be like him, I want to be like him, para isang tawag lang, makakautang na ako. So I think that's what's happening now. I can call the bank and say how much I need. I just signed a promissory note. It happened. So tama yung mga sabi nila, Mr. John at nila Henry Sina, you have to protect your credibility. Pwede kang malugi. Huwag ka lang magpakalbok ng cheque. Di ba?
A good advice.
Another good advice.
Very simple but
tama. Sound advice.
Wow, sir. Talaga, you reached that that level, and we congratulate you. We're very happy for you. Pero sir, do you still have something that you wish to accomplish or you wish you could have done? Meron pa ba at this point?
Ang wish ko sana I should have started the property business 10 years ago. Kasi wala akong alam eh. I only started it 5-6 years ago. Now ko lang na-realize na I should have started 10-15 years ago. Siyempre, panahon-panahon yan eh. I learned the business late because I'm more focused on building my cosmetic business. It was only when we have the excess cash flow na, that's the time I start looking for other investment. So other than that, no issue. I'm happy to where I am. I never thought I can be here because I found another advice that Mr. John and NDC told me. You must keep on pushing. Do not stop because when you stop, other people will catch up with you. So you keep on pushing. Actually, sabi nga, better be number 2 than number 1. Kasi pag number 2, meron ka pang target yung number 1. Pag ikaw naman ay number 1, ikaw na pinatarget. So, you cannot be complacent to your number 1. Dahil ikaw na titirahin nila. So, you have to keep on pushing para hindi ka na maabutan.
Yes. Gandang advice.
Ang dami na nating mga
I'm so happy.
golden nuggets of wisdom from Mr. Dioceldo Sy.
Yes.
But
That's from the 2 big guys.
The
Mr.
2
Jan
big
and
guys,
Henry. I'm just learning from them.
We will pause for a break, but when we return, we will play a game called Fast Talk. We'll be right back.
Botomoto Halalan 2022, the Daily Tribune special coverage.
Welcome back to PairFect. Still with us is Bilena Cosmetics Incorporated President and CEO Dioceldo Sy. So Francine, for this segment, we have what we call Fast Talk, where we ask Deo, we will ask you different scenarios and you have to answer quickly.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so we'll shoot the first question. If you're not a business owner, what would you be right now?
Probably a retired basketball player now or an architect.
Architect. Talagang hindi na.
Retired basketball player with your own line of sportswear, apparel, and merchandise.
Somehow lalabas na naman. Okay, ito. Grooming
An
product.
architect.
Oo nga, architect, diba? Grooming product you cannot live without.
Shaving cream, hair mousse, deodorant spray, and body wash.
Okay, alam na natin ang routine.
Ang mga routine, self-care routine.
Yeah.
If you were to hang out with only one between Michael Jordan and Robert Jaworski, who would it be?
Siyempre, Michael Jordan, he's the best.
Yeah, no question. Who for you is the best basketball player of all time, local and international?
Of course, Michael Jordan sa NBA. Here, probably, I think Mon Fernandez. Because he's so, kaya El Presidente.
Yeah.
So, he can dribble, he can shoot and everything, yeah.
Who is the person you look up to the most?
In business or ano?
Siguro in business and in life.
I think Mr. Django Gongwei. Then NPC.
Okay. Ito naman, your favorite quote about life?
There's no shortcut to success. You have to work hard, persevere, and dapat may blood, sweat, and tears. Walang chamba-chamba.
Ganda. Work.
What is your message to our viewers and to those out there who are starting a business?
Well, everyone are free to dream their big dreams, they dream to be big. But it cannot happen if you don't work on it. You have to persevere, as I said, blood, sweat, and tears yan. Walang chamba, walang madali. As long as you believe in it, you enjoy working on it, it will happen.
Oh. Yun yung pansin ko sa story ni Deo. Talagang walang hesitation. You work, you don't think about parang mahirap ba to or ano. You just go into it and then you try it. Am I right or am I really
Tsaka napansin ko, sir, meron talaga kayong innate na zest for life eh.
Oo nga eh.
You want to keep on going, thriving, talagang go, go, go attitude.
Actually, I'm right now I'm 63, but my heart, I feel I'm 40.
Oh, diba?
So, parang gusto ko pa rin ginagawa nung when I was doing at 40. A good thing is I have a lot of advantages already between now and when I was 40 years old. Importante, when you work continuously, you don't grow old. For me, parang ngayon, age is just a number. Of course, on our physical side, I can feel the pain in my knees and whatever. But on the work side, siyempre, iba ng workload ko. It's not physical. It's more on thinking side, macro side, and strategic side. So, it's a different ball game. Importante, kasi I have the organization na, and I have my kids that I can utusan. Like, Zoom. Di ako marunong mag-Zoom. Sila ang nagsuzoom sa akin. Actually, so, I have to tell them to prepare Zoom for me. Tamad ako mag-aral ng mga ganyan. Pero, I continue to learn what's happening. Like itong pandemic, I'm learning what's happening and I can research who are the people behind this pandemic. Ay nako, if I tell you the story behind the scenes, ang daming conspiracy dyan.
That calls for another interview. Over
Private
coffee.
interview. Not for
Over
public.
coffee and merienda.
Oo eh. Parang
We will invite you.
magandang i-pick yung brains ni Mr.
Oo nga
Dioceldo
eh.
Sy.
Yes.
So anyway, we have to go. Our time is limited. Thank you for joining us today, Dioceldo Sy, and for sharing with us your story. It's been a delight to have you in the show, and we hope to see more of you in our next episodes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the interview. I see you soon. See you soon. Bye.
Yes. So mga katribu, watch PairFect Live every Wednesday at 2 p.m. on Daily Tribune's official Facebook page and on Tribune Now on YouTube for the replay of the latest edition.
I'm Dinah.
And I am Francine.
And
this has been PairFect.